Hey, it's your boy Kai, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends Podcast Weekly Nerd Squad Edition, where I sit down with the Nerd Squad to react to the latest nerd news of the week, and we'll break down the episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you like our comic book squad nerd panel today, one day we'll come up with a name for this. Be sure to follow me at The Vibe with Kai on your favorite social media platforms, or you can visit my official website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. This week on our panel, we'll be reacting to episode 5, the penultimate episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, along with the other nerd news of the week. Please be aware that today's panel may contain spoilers for various MCU and DC projects, so if you're not caught up, you need to click away. You should know this by now. We talk about things.
What are you doing here if you don't like spoilers?
Yeah, just go away and then come back.
Or don't do that.
Come back. Go watch it, spend an hour, have a tea or a little lunchy lunch or dinner. What time is it? I don't know.
Titanic sinks at the end of the movie. It sinks.
Yeah, it sinks.
Wow. Spoiler, girl.
Jesus dies.
And Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
The entire time.
With
that said, welcome once again to the Kyrus Has Friends Podcast Weekly Nerd Squad Edition. Joining us today are my MCU nerds as Kyrus and the 3 J's. We are back. Coming back for another round. I love these people. First and foremost, the lovely lady holding. Now, is that actual Captain America or is that fake Captain America? Jacqui Beltran.
No. I would never own such a thing. This is real Captain America. I bought this after Endgame. So yeah, I have a problem with these. I actually have one for just about every movie, so this might start being a thing. But yeah, no, it's good to be here. I'm so sad I couldn't be here last week, especially with the death of Lamar. Oh my God. But yeah, no. Always happy to be with Mother Jane.
Did you want to say anything about his eyebrows? I know you had some stuff about his eyebrows. Go ahead.
Okay, listen. His eyebrows are so fleeked out. And then during his death scene, I know it was so serious, but they zoomed in on those suckers. Those things were toit as a tiger. That's all I wanted to say.
That's fair. I just wanted to make sure because I know you felt some sort of way about his eyebrows. So I'm happy that we got that in. So Jacqui, it's always great to see you. Welcome back, my friend. Also here we have the very lovely Jared Milian. Hi Jared, how are you today?
Hi.
What's going on? You look so comfy right now.
I know. I got this sweater at Rebel Supply & Co., which is in Asbury Park. It's my favorite thrift store in New Jersey. I'm actually filming my music video there next month, so but it's my most comfortable sweatshirt, so I like to wear it for 3 days and then put it in the laundry.
Did you hear that humble brag, guys? Did you hear that humble brag?
Oh, no big deal. Just my music video now.
It's okay. I have it all time. So we're gonna do the song's gonna come out, and we're gonna do a podcast that next morning.
Absolutely.
So we're on the roller coaster to me humbly bragging.
Yes, absolutely. And then, of course, the very lovely Jonathan V. Polanco. Hi, baby. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. She's got a little natural look today. She's feeling hydrated. She's feeling moisturized. Also she's cleaning all of her brushes as we speak.
The worst.
Yeah. Also, ladies and gentlemen out there, for all of you who do makeup, do yourself a favor. Buy yourself Cinema Secrets. Get the big one. It's amazing.
The diarrhea of brush cleaners.
It's so good. It smells so nice. It cleans them real quick. It's quick drying. This is not sponsored, but it can be. Hit up Kyrus for details. I don't do that stuff.
I love it. Mind you, I was now, for those of you that don't know, we record this on Saturday mornings. So Friday nights are usually nights that we, because we all work, so we all, have to stay tightened up during the week. But Friday nights sometimes we'll let loose. I'm not going to point any fingers, but somebody was up late last night singing their butt off on Facebook Live.
I mean, so I work in a restaurant like most people do who need money, who aren't professionals in the business world. Also who are actors, because I'm an actor. I don't have a music video coming out this week, but I could be in a music video next month if somebody needed to hire somebody.
You guys are always welcome. It's always welcome. It's weird because I got to make sure everybody gets vaccinated and everybody is everything, but you're always welcome to be in anything I do, all of you.
But yeah, this queen, last night she had to basically, well, she didn't have to. She decided to do it because she very much enjoys her coworkers and loves her coworkers, their coworkers. I don't ascribe to gender. Gender is a social construct that I'm not really into. But anyway, she decided to fold about 350 pieces of silverware for the servers today so that they had an easier shift because she's off today. So she can hang out.
I was gonna say, you're giving that off. You were giving off energy. I was like, oh, she's off.
She's off today.
I was like, she's off.
She ain't got to worry about a damn thing. She was like, I'm gonna roll this silverware, listen to the Into the Woods soundtrack, and then I'm leaving. Goodbye. See you guys Tuesday.
I love it. I love it. Kyrus and the 3Js. We'd make a good band.
We do.
I'd watch that music video 100%.
Jared's gonna be the one that's gonna betray us for like a Yoko Ono type of situation.
I would prefer like a Beyonce situation, but I'm cool with Yoko Ono.
Either or, that's fine.
I love it. I love it. Well, before we get into our episode reaction, there's a lot of things that happened in the world of nerddom this week. So we're going to go through some of the highlights this week. So starting off, they announced obviously Bad Batch coming out May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. The original animated series launching exclusively on Disney Plus, Star Wars The Bad Batch unveiled a new poster, which you can see here on the screen right now. As we draw closer to the release date on Tuesday, May the 4th, the series has provided a couple of looks into the world and characters it's revisiting that were introduced in the Clone Wars. As with numerous animated series from Lucasfilm, the first episode will be presented as a 70-minute premiere. The mini-movie will kick off a new series to follow every Friday beginning May 7th. Are we excited? Are we excited for this?
Yes.
Were you Clone Wars fans?
My best friend Herbert, that's his real name, he was obsessed with Clone Wars, so I was like inadvertently, surprisingly, like there's like a lot of gatekeeping in the Star Wars fandom where like it's so it like gets like I like Star Wars, but I am nowhere near as like well versed in the world of Star Wars as I am in Marvel. So I watch like all the Star Wars properties the way I feel like my mom watches the Marvel movies, where she's like, oh, I like them. I just don't really know. Like, I can't speak to their origins. I don't know if that person's doing the right thing. But I'm excited. I think that, like, it's, you know, it's kind of like anything that comes out of, like, the Disney umbrella seems to be pretty perfect. So I'm definitely excited for it.
My boyfriend, he loves the Clone Wars. I am super into Star Wars. Like, I was super into Star Wars just as much as Marvel. I actually have some Star Wars Marvel comics that I read. So, like, I'm into it. It's just, like, as far as, like, the animated series is, I don't know what the plural of series is. But as far as Clone Wars, I wasn't super into it, but Chris is super into it. So, I mean, we're both going to watch it. He's definitely going to be more stoked about it than I am, but I'm going to watch it too, obviously.
Fair enough. John, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. So, like, I honestly didn't really get into Star Wars all that much. I watched, like, the original trilogy when I was younger and then the prequels and stuff like that. I honestly really didn't get into it until one of my great, amazing, one of my best friends ever, Eric M. Collins. He's obsessed with Star Wars.
He is,
like,
yes.
Obsessed.
We gotta get him on this podcast one day. Do you think he would do it?
Yeah. Oh, I've been talking to him so many times that I'm just like, girl, we need to get your camera ready. You need to come on here. You need to talk because, like, Star Wars, Marvel, everything.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Like, he definitely knows his stuff.
Everything. Like, he is probably the encyclopedia I go to when I'm just like, wait, who's this person? Wait, what is going on? And he just tells me about all these fantastic storylines that he's read. But yeah, I when I kind of became friends with him, I started getting into Star Wars a little bit more, learning about the lore, reading a little bit of books and stuff like that I would buy him for gifts and stuff like that. And I've never watched any of the animated series. I watched all of the I watched the TV shows, The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian. I've watched pretty much all the movies. I'm still not a fan of The Last Jedi. Come for me.
That's another conversation for another day because I have thoughts too.
You know, agree with me in the comments down below. Here for it. But I'm excited to watch this. This will be my first entrance into any of the animated stuff with Star Wars, and I'm actually kind of into it. It looks really great.
May the 4th be with you, my friends. I'll see you there, and I'll definitely be watching it. I haven't seen too many of the animated side of things either, but this might, depending on how this one goes, this might get me into it. We'll see. Next, coming out next Friday, we have Mortal Kombat. Bum, 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 bum. Ahead of the film's US debut next week, Warner Brothers Pictures has released a brand new featurette, which I'm not going to show here, for a highly anticipated Mortal Kombat reboot, providing viewers with new glimpses of the film's epic fighting choreography that gives justice to the beloved video game's iconic fatalities. The video teases the matchups between characters such as Kano, Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, Cabal, Melina, Cole Young. I watched some of this footage. They're not joking. It is brutal. It is. It is like brutal. Have any of you seen this footage? I can't show it here. I can't show it here.
I think it's cool. I mean, the thing is, like, this sounds so like Mortal Kombat growing up was such a huge part of like my queer identity, because like it was one of those games where like it was just so like it was one of those games where like if I was playing with like straight boys that I was friends with, or if I was playing with kids from the neighborhood, like it was never that weirdness if I chose a girl character. Like it was always cool. So like Mortal Kombat was probably like a huge queer outlet for me, and I'm sure a lot of other young queer people feel the same. And so I'm excited to see it on the big screen. I have to be like a Debbie Downer every once in a while. And like, I'm very confused as to where Katana is. I'm not sure how they're going to do Mortal Kombat with Melina and not Katana. So I'm hoping this is something that like they're holding for the movie that we're going to see.
Right.
But other than that, I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Jacqui?
Yeah, no, we're really stoked for Mortal Kombat. We've been talking about it. What I was saying, like in the commercial, I was just like, I need more techno music. I need to feel like I'm in the weirdest rave, and it's gonna be super long and awesome. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked for it, especially because the Mortal Kombat movies we got like way before. I don't remember when they came out. I'm thinking like 90s.
I think like 90s.
Okay, 90s. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, back then it was the only thing we had, and we took what we got, but I'm hoping that this is way better than that. It's not cheesy. It looks like it's way better in terms of casting and all that good stuff.
That's the feel that I'm getting as well, that it's going to be way better than the original.
I like those movies, though. I like those movies. I enjoy them.
I guess sometimes you got to turn your brain off. Yeah. John, are you excited for Mortal Kombat?
Girl, let me tell you. As a young homosexual, I always made my mother go to this one pizzeria because they had like the big box Mortal Kombat like there. And I was like, Mom, can we go to this pizzeria? Mom, can we go to this pizzeria? And like, I would always want to go and play. And like, that was back in the day when like, a quarter could get you like a good like amount of time of play. So like I used to play this game all the time, and I was such a fan. And again, I feel Jared's kind of mindset. It was very kind of LGBTQ inclusive, because if you played a female character, I was like, whoa, she's awesome. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like Sonya Blade. It was like when we were kids, like we had like Sonya Blade and Chun-Li. That was like it as far as like
Street Fighter.
From Street Fighter. And like there's a documentary on Netflix that if you guys have the time, you should watch. It's about video games. And like, there's one full episode like dedicated to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. And it's really interesting to see like how revolutionary these games really were.
They were. Yeah.
And like how like, so it's cool. I think anything that like withstands the test of time, like something like Mortal Kombat, that like now 30 years later, we're like sitting here talking about a movie that's going to come out. Stuff like that is always going to feel good to me, because it's like, like I said when Bruce was on, when we were talking about like how like Marvel is kind of like this like validation from like being a nerd as a kid. It's like now, like with these movies coming out, you're like, yeah, I knew Mortal Kombat was cool. We all did. Like everybody knew it was that cool back then, and it's still cool now. So I'm excited.
I think the thing that's really exciting is that we now have the technology and like the CGI capabilities that it's gonna look great. Like that was
it looks gory.
Trailer.
Oof.
That
so gory. Yeah.
That I saw. I can't even tell you. Oh my goodness, it looks so gory.
Yeah,
I
the clip.
saw a little
Oh,
clip
man.
online that was like
The clip that I saw
With
that
Katara.
with no, it was another clip. John, you know what clip I'm talking about? The one that Bill Mercado put in our other group. There was this clip. I don't even know what characters they were, to be honest with you. But
wait, I put that in the group. Girl.
was it you? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Girl,
My bad.
Jacqui and
My
I
bad.
wouldn't know. We're obviously not cool enough to be in that group. So
Wow.
First of all,
Yeah.
this is the OG group. This is the OG group.
Yeah.
This has been around for like
we can't
well
even
over a
call
year.
this panel what we call that group, which would probably be the perfect name for this
I
group.
know.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
already
yes,
taken.
maybe.
It's already
sounds
taken.
sounds super fun.
Yeah.
Wow, oh my god. Did the sodium levels
Yeah.
just rise up in this bee?
We're so glad that you guys are having a great time. You
Yeah,
guys
Jacqui and I-
are
Mortal
great.
Kombat.
I can't.
Okay, Jacqui, in our other group, we'll talk about this later.
I
Yeah.
can't. Jared, don't you start. You talk about your other groups all the time. Don't you start.
The name of mine and Jackie's other group would be perfect for this group, but we can't use it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll
It's
think
too
of it
good.
next
I
time.
can't.
Mhm.
John, you and I are gonna go make a music video without
I'm
Jared.
here for it. I'm so here for it. Clothing optional.
Speaking clothing optional. Speaking of storied franchises, guess what, friends? We're getting another one of these movies. We're getting another
Girl.
Fast and Furious
Here
movie.
for it. Oh my
We
Lord.
are here for Fast 9. We got Juan.
Nine.
So we're getting a Fast Furious 9 and 10. This
I'm like,
one.
We canceled the OA on Netflix, but we got 30 million different.
Oh man, we should do a podcast on the OA. The Universal Pictures dropped a brand new trailer for Justin Lin's Fast 9. Well, it's called F9, the Fast Saga, featuring new and familiar faces in the latest installment of the adrenaline-pumping franchise. The 9th film in the Fast and Furious saga is set to open theatrically only, I believe, on June 25th. And I mean, it looks like they got everybody back, and they got John Cena.
Yeah.
He is joining as Dom's little brother that we're just being introduced to.
Where he been at? Where he at though?
Where have you been for the last 8 movies, John Cena?
Y'all, one time I was at the barbershop and I was getting my hair cut. And my haircuts take like a long time, So it's like almost like hour 45. And I'm like getting my haircut and I'm watching.
Are they cutting each hair individually?
Yeah. Well, I get like I get like, I'm a man and I go to a barbershop. So okay, so
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Each individual hair follicle is insured for $20,000, so they have to be as.
I wish. Oh my god!
possible.
So I'm watching a movie the whole time. I think the movie is so kick-ass. I'm like, oh my god, I want to watch this movie. Like, and the movie's good. I watched the whole thing, and like, it's people I've never seen before. I go home, I tell my boyfriend about the movie, and I'm like, it was so good. Like, I don't know if it's new. He's like, that's Fast and the Furious 2. Like, what are you talking about?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
I explained the whole plot to him, and I'm like, yeah, it's like this happens, and this guy goes to Tokyo, and there's like all this shit.
Tokyo Drift.
And he's like, that's literally Fast and the Furious 2. I was like, that is how disconnected I am from the Fast and Furious franchise that I thought a sequel was just a film.
In your defense, Too Fast, Too Furious. Let's make sure we give credit where it's due because that's a brilliant name.
It is a kick-ass name.
It was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Like this is before. Like this is when because I don't believe Vin Diesel was in it. If I'm not mistaken.
No, I think it's like one of those.
It was
like,
Tyrese. It was
he was
Tyrese. Was he?
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
He wasn't in Tokyo Drift.
Yes.
Everybody,
that's
maybe I know the one I watched because I've seen almost all of them, embarrassingly enough, and I know the one that I watched had almost no one that I recognized in it. So maybe it was Tokyo Drift.
Yeah,
it's like about
Tokyo
some
Drift.
kid,
Okay.
like some kid that goes to Tokyo for school or something.
Yeah, that's
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, and then Vin Diesel comes in with a special cameo at the end, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, here's the thing: hate or love the Fast Furious franchise. I think the action sequences are so they're cheesy, but they're
so
fun.
good.
They're so fun to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I have seen all of the Fast and Furious movies, and the thing is that's so unique about them is. If you watch the first one and then you watch the most recent one, like you don't watch any of the middle ones, you are literally like, how the hell did we get to this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say.
None
Like,
of them make sense, but like that's the point. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be spectacle, and like that's it just again. This is the perfect like Kong versus Godzilla. You walk into the door, you better leave your brain right there.
Exactly.
You better say, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna see you in a bit. Get yourself a little snack. Get yourself a chicken tendy. Get yourself a large soda. Chill out here. I'm gonna go in here with my popcorn and my Snickers, and I'm gonna rip them up and throw them in the popcorn and eat popcorn and the Snickers with the chocolate. I'm gonna enjoy this movie. That's this entire experience.
I think it's hilarious how 1 and 2, like they were racing for pinks. They're just like, let's
Yeah,
race
right.
for pinks. And now it's just like, we're
Now they're going
racing
to
through the
space.
jungle. Yeah, like we're racing through the jungle. We need to swing this car across a chasm. Let's do this. I'm just like, wow, what a
Right.
difference.
And they all know kung fu now. Like when did you have time to train for all of
And
this?
like Michelle Rodriguez still has a job. I could be down for that.
She died. She came back.
But it's like that.
I love Michelle Rodriguez.
But like Michelle Rodriguez literally like showed up drunk on the set of Avatar, and Heffa is still getting hired for film. So I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna give her flowers where she deserves them. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's the kind of trust I need in employment.
Right.
Like I could just show up wasted on a James Cameron film and get called for another movie.
Right. Well, that comes out June 25th. We also got the trailer. I don't know if you watched this, to the new Zack Snyder movie, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. It looks pretty cool. Fans of Zack Snyder better get ready to see a unique return to the filmmaker to his debut genre, as Netflix has unveiled the first trailer for Army of the Dead, an action heist pick set in Las Vegas during a large zombie outbreak. Written and directed by Snyder, based on the story directed by Snyder on a story concept from him, Shay Haddock, who wrote John Wick Chapter 3, and Joby Harold, who is writing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that's coming out soon. Army of the Dead follows the story of a man who recruits a group of mercenaries to pull off the ultimate heist amidst a zombie apocalypse. It's so over the top.
Yeah.
And the trail, like I watched the trailer, and it's so, oh my God, I can't wait. It's really, it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited for it. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I haven't. I heard that they replaced Chris D'Elia with Tig Notaro.
Yes. And yes, this is Chris D'Elia right here, who is a creeper.
Yeah.
And he got replaced by Tig Notaro. Oh, I should have got a picture with Tig. I wasn't even thinking about that.
The Chris D'Elia shit, that's a different conversation for a different time, but it's so weird to me that he played that character in You. And then all that stuff came out like a few months after that. It's almost like if you know you're like it just, to me, it's like so weird, because I'm like, why would you do a show like that?
It's so ballsy.
I mean? Well, because he didn't know he was going to get caught. But that was another conversation for another day. Army of the Dead. I watched the trailer. It looks so over the top. It looks very Zack Snyder-ish. I'm waiting for the slow-mo zombies. And the really cool thing with the zombies in this movie, it seems as though that they're not like slow, like like they have
zombies.
They're not only running, but they're smart,
yeah.
And they have feelings for each other. Like there was like zombies that were like gathering and speaking and communicating with each other.
I love zombie movies. I kind of always have. Like I love the 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. Like I love even like I Am Legend, which is like kind of like a different kind of version of like a zombie film. Like I love anything like that, because I feel like it, unlike vampires or like other things where there's so much like kind of like rules, you know what I mean? I like zombie films or zombie stories because like there's really no rules. So it's like you could have zombies that fly, zombies that communicate, zombies that are slow, zombies that are fast. You know what I mean? I love that because I think it like leaves like a lot of room to play. So I'm excited for it.
So I agree. I am very much into zombie films, and like one of my favorite zombie movies of all time is the original George Romero Dawn of the Dead. When they're in the shopping mall and stuff like that, and like that was back when they still had the slow shambling zombies, and like I watched it like within the past couple months. Like I really love that movie. It still sticks with me, and I'm obsessed with it. And I remember the first time I watched the Zack Snyder one, the remake, and I remember the Night of the Living Dead remake that they did in the 90s was almost a shot-for-shot remake of the original Night of the Living Dead from, the 60s, 60s or 70s, one of the two. And Zack Snyder, again, for Zack Snyder's first film, wow, like really took a concept, really took him an idea and said, all right, we're doing something completely different, and really took it up, put it on set. And honestly, the idea of running zombies was not a thing until Zack Snyder did it. Like
Right.
that
And
was,
I remember
he's
World War
the
Z
one-
with Brad Pitt was another one. Jacqui, are you excited for this one?
Yeah, it's actually a really cool concept. Just this idea of just like a team going after zombies. I will say there's so much going on with the genre in terms of zombies right now, right? Like we are in a total era with zombie survival. Chris is currently playing a game. He's playing gosh, I'm killing myself. Days Gone. Thank you.
Okay.
Days Gone. And even then, like I am a little bit fatigued. I will say that. But I am really interested to see Snyder's visuals in the genre.
Yeah.
So like I am going to watch it. And I am excited to see what he does with it. But as far as like zombie genre stuff, I could live without it for a while. I could.
Fair.
Yeah.
She's fatigued over zombies, but she still wants the new Avengers, the young Avengers to come out.
Don't you start. Don't you start. Don't you start.
Fatigued over zombies.
Speaking of MCU, the now filming listing on Georgia's official state website confirms the production of Marvel Studios' upcoming She-Hulk series has finally begun filming in Atlanta and is expected to shoot until August 30th. The filming started for the Tatiana Maslany-led MCU series, which was previously delayed last year due to the ongoing pandemic. This marks Marvel Studios' third Disney Plus production that is currently in production alongside Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye, which have been filming since last year. The production also comes after Hamilton star Renee Elise Goldsberry, holla to you, to get your flowers, girl, was recently cast in the role of Amelia in the production. Maslany and Goldsberry will also be joined by fellow MCU newcomer Ginger Gonzaga. So She-Hulk is now filming. So they said they're filming until August 30th. So I would imagine it's going to come out either, I guess, early 2022, if not sooner. This would be fun. I know. We were talking in the group about potentially seeing the likes of what's his name, Hulk. What's his name? Oh my gosh,
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, and the return of the villain from the Ed Norton Hulk, Abomination, seeing him potentially return for this as well. That should be fun. This should be fun. I'm excited. I like Tatiana Maslany. I think this should be fun.
She was amazing in Orphan Black. Yeah, I love Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. She showed so much range in that show. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but she was spectacular in that. So I'm really excited to see her in another production.
Yeah, this should be fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be like it. I think whatever they give us, we're going to enjoy because it's something. I think unlike WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's not something that we're emotionally attached to yet. So we'll base like all of our opinions on She-Hulk after this series. So I think it's going to be cool because it's like it'll be fresh.
And they can't miss. I feel like MCU can't. They'll just throw anything at us, and I'm like,
literally,
okay,
yes, more
anything.
Right. One thing that I've never seen before that's coming out is Powerpuff Girls. On the heels of set photos leaking showing the trio as the titular hero group, as filming gets underway for the pilot, the CW has unveiled an official first look photo from the forthcoming Powerpuff Girls sequel series, illustrating stars Chloe Bennett, Dove Cameron, and Yana Perrault as Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. I've never watched the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know if I'll watch. I don't watch anything on the CW, so I don't know if I'm going to watch this, guys.
It's fine. Honestly, looking at the pictures, I mean, there has to be something. There has to be a major like post-production to this, because again, even looking at the costumes, I was like, what creepy old guy came up with this concept and put all these like youthful looking girls in these short, ill-fitting, like there is not a gay man that was in charge of those costumes.
Yes.
I'm just telling you. There was no love for that costume.
I want to know who asked for this. I want to know who asked for Real Life Powerpuff Girls. That's my first question, okay? I loved the cartoon. I loved it. I see it as a classic. Him, I live for him to this very day. He was a great villain, okay? These were little girls. This was a children's show. Now we have all these sexy women, which they are sexy, they are strong, they are powerful. They have no business in this show. I'm just so triggered by it. I don't want to watch it at all.
They're making the Powerpuff Girls sexualized, and I don't know if I feel okay with that. Like,
even if it wasn't sexualized, like for me, I'm right on the. I am a big defender of remakes. I'm a big defender of reboots. I think it's really cool. I think like the idea behind it is fun when we do stuff like this. I think shit like this is like oversaturated and embarrassing. Like I think it's like it reminds me very much of like the Charmed reboot that nobody asked for. Where
oh my God, horrible.
It's like shit like this is like you have a situation like something like I can't even think of a good example right now, but like you have reboots that kick ass and you have like remakes that you're like, this is so cool. And then this is the kind of shit that people are like, I don't want any more remakes because it's like you get something like this where it's like, and first of all, like, I'm sorry, like we need 2 white girls and a girl that is like ethnically ambiguous for lack of a better term. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it just like, we don't need it. Nobody asked for it. We don't want it. I'm not going to watch it.
It seems cheap.
I'm not gonna watch it. Lucy Liu, a few weeks after Oscar winner Helen Mirren joined the cast in an antagonistic role, DC Films' highly anticipated Shazam: Fury of the Gods is expanding its cast with the addition of Emmy nominee Lucy Liu as another villain for the titular character, according to the Wrap. The 52-year-old actress is set to star as Calypso, the second daughter of Atlas. She's 52.
So beautiful.
The second daughter of Atlas and the sister to Mira's Hespera, neither of whom have their roots in the comics while their father does. Created by Jack Kirby in 1975 and based on the Titan of ancient Greek mythology, the duo joined recently cast West Side Story breakout Rachel Zegler. When is that one? Though her key role is currently being kept to the Thunderbelt adorned chest of our man over here. I love Lucy Liu. I think she's gorgeous and I can't wait to see
Yes.
her.
I like her too. I especially like her in like action roles too. I think it's cool. Like she's great in Charlie's Angels, great in Kill Bill.
Yeah, she's one of the OG femme fatales. Like she's the first femme fatale I had seen growing up. So it's so.
I got to meet her once, and she was so sweet. I went to a Comic-Con, and I went to an elementary panel. And I got to meet her, and she was so sweet, so kind.
She's had like a really incredible career because like I remember Lucy Liu from Ally McBeal. That's like my first reference of Lucy Liu.
Oh my gosh, I used to love that. My mom used to love that show.
Mine too. My parents loved Ally. We're like basically the same age, so it's like
yeah, it's true. Well, you're 55 years old. I'm 55. So we got a rating for Black Widow, friends. It's going to be PG-13. According to Exhibitor Relations, Marvel Studios' long-awaited Black Widow solo movie has finally been rated with the Scarlett Johansson-led film, earning a PG-13 rating for intense sequences of violence, action, some language, and thematic material. This is not surprising to me.
I was going to say, oh, really? The movie about assassins is PG-13? Go figure.
But also, like, aren't all Marvel movies PG-13?
None of them are PG. I don't think any of them are PG.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So all right. Non-news. Next. Moon Knight. So get this. I want to show y'all something because I watched something on the Instagram the other day. Oscar Isaac's production company.
Are you 100?
I am. I told you I'm 55. Oscar Isaac's production company released a new Moon Knight training video for Marvel Studios' upcoming MCU series, where the video features Golden Globe winning actor as he continues to learn the Marvel character's brutal fighting style. In addition, it looks like pre-production on the upcoming Disney Plus series is in the final stages of completion, as Isaac and Ethan Hawke have already been spotted together in Budapest, Hungary. The acclaimed actors were recently seen in by fans. So I want to show you all this video. Look at this. There's no, you don't need to hear anything, but just watch this man.
Yes.
Wow. Good for him.
Girl.
Look at that. Look at that beard.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be brutal and it's gonna be so good.
I'm
I
excited.
can't wait to see him in like actual like feature films. Like the show's
Yeah.
gonna be wonderful. I'm here for it, but like I can't wait to see what he does in feature films. I can't wait to see the costume, what his costume's gonna look like.
Right. Are you surprised that it's getting a Disney Plus debut and not a feature film debut?
Yeah, I am kind of surprised, honestly.
I'm not. I said this last week where I feel like and I know Kyrus, you're a big theater fan.
Yes.
But I do feel like due to the pandemic, I think that we're going to move towards I don't see movie theaters being around in 10 years. I really don't. And I think that it's smart to do Disney Plus series because that's really the way that I think that entertainment is going. Why would you, if it wasn't for a nostalgic experience, why would you go to the movies when you could just do the same thing at home? You know what I mean?
Oh, I can think of I can think of plenty of reasons.
Yeah.
So just for for social outing in general. That's like saying I'm not going to go to a restaurant when I can just cook at home.
Right.
That's totally fair for like the experience. I definitely respect that. For me, it's more of like I think like I've been weird about this is really dark, but I've been weird about movie theaters since the shooting happened at the Heath Ledger, the Dark Knight film. Mm-hmm. And so my mom and I, if you remember, they re-released Jurassic Park right after that. Like they re-released it. So, and I told you, my mom and I always go see those films. And when we went to go see it, I was like nervous. So with like the pandemic, like I just get a little bit nervous, like, and it makes me, so it's one of those things where like, I do love the experience. I just think that like, a lot of the stuff that we look for in film, like the picture quality and the sound quality that we get via a theater, I think they're doing a good job of translating it to your television. And I think for the next few years, we're going to have a lot of these like Black Widow hybrid situations where it's going to come out on both, because there are going to be people we're going to see people wearing masks for the rest of our lives.
Sure.
So it's one of those things where there are going to be people that never trust the government and the environment ever again. So Disney's not going to screw themselves out of that money or those ratings. So it's like, I think everything's going to become hybrid and it'll phase out. So I'm not surprised that they're putting something this big on the platform.
That's fair. And though to be fair, I think they did make the announcement. I'm pretty sure this has been in development for a while.
Yeah.
So I think this was like a pre-pandemic decision. But I also I don't know. And we could talk about this on another podcast. Yeah, I will disagree. I think theaters are going to come back strong. I do believe that.
I'm also positive that they're going to do well with this because the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, they put like $200+ million into both of those shows individually. Like WandaVision was $225 million. Falcon and Winter Soldier was, I think, just as much money, if not more. Yeah. So I feel like instead of it going to be like $200 million like 2-hour movie, it's going to be a $200 million like 6 or 7 hour movie, I'd rather, especially since it's going to be a brand new character that we at least brand new audiences know nothing about. It's going to be a great way for them to introduce him, to maybe transition him over, because that's what they said. Everything that happens in these shows is going to come up again canonically in the whole of the MCU, and it's going to show. I won't be surprised if Agatha Harkness shows up in.
They confirmed it.
Madness.
Yeah, they said she's not Madness, but they said she's definitely back.
If Eli Bradley and Isaiah Bradley and all these people from the Falcon and Winter Soldier come into
that's fair. I totally agree with that.
I could see that happening.
Last piece of news here. By the way, we are so bad at keeping these comments brief. What did I tell y'all?
It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
I told y'all. No, it needs to happen. Warner Brothers Pictures DC Extended Universe, or whatever the hell is left of it, continues to extend as Black Adam filming has officially begun, and starred Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson took to Instagram to release the first set photo, which is this right here. Good for you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for releasing this photo. I'm not gonna hold my breath right now because
They better cut him a check for all the promotion he's doing for this damn film.
Yeah.
I know.
Saying.
I know. This would be a perfect time to let y'all know, to remind y'all to follow me on the YouTube. Hit that little subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you follow there. And also follow me on your favorite social media channels. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I am on Pinterest, believe it or not. At the Five with Kai. And you're always going to be posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. Guys, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What we're going to do, we're going to kind of start at the beginning and go through our little this little show that we happen to watch, episode 5. Good Lord, so much. Okay, so the show started off pretty much right after faux Captain America decided to murder somebody in public, and they get into a big fight in which they do get the shield back. But it was not easy. It was not easy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What did you think of this opening scene? Keep it brief.
Oh, it was so good. This is one of those things I'm going to watch again and again and again just to watch John Walker get his ass kicked. Because this is something we've been waiting for. We've been wanting him to get some sort of ass beating. He's probably going to have to get his ass beat again before he learns his lesson. But this is a good appetizer.
Yeah, though he did put up a good fight because
I know,
he did break the wings off of Anthony Mackie.
Can I tell you that whole scene? The thing is that is so jaw-dropping. Like this series, whereas what WandaVision was to mental health, this series is to like the plight of the black man in today's society.
Yes, and we'll get into that for sure. Yeah,
the symbolism of John Walker, a man who is like, is living up to these expectations set by society's standards of him, and again, also benefiting from the privilege that he has in his life from being a white man, being on top of Anthony Mackie, being on top of Samuels, and being on top of him, pushing him down, screaming in his face, "I am Captain America," and literally ripping off his wings. I was like, the symbolism of that it was like chilling. Like I literally was watching this fight and I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. I can't believe it. It was amazing. It was so good.
Absolutely. I love that opening scene. And then we get
I like the opening scene too.
You didn't say anything. You weren't saying anything. You usually
I'm trying to keep it brief. I'm trying to keep it brief.
And then we jump over to Captain America when he, I guess, is not put on trial, but he has a hearing in front of all of the powers that be, in which they say, "Hey, you done fucked up, sir. You done messed up." Ron.
Typical bureaucracy, though. Again, he said it's so great. You made me this way.
I thought that was really
created me.
I thought that was really important.
Me, now and they took away his benefits. I was like, girl, as somebody that just had her benefits taken away for his job, if you guys don't like the fact that I got my health insurance taken away, go talk to Iron Hill Brewery about that. Thank you so much. But like the fact that he got all that stuff taken away from him, and then at the end of the day, it's like it's because of you. It's because you made me.
I think it's like super. I think it's like super interesting to watch it from that perspective as well, because like obviously we think the character's a dick, counterfeit Cap, all of that. I think Wyatt Russell's doing a phenomenal job.
As an actor, he's doing.
It's one of my favorite. It's truthfully one of my favorite MCU performances to date. I think it's layered and nuanced and interesting. I also like, just to call back to the opening scene, as gruesome as it was, we haven't really seen anything like that broken arm thing in the MCU.
Yes,
I thought that was really cool. I like that we're not, I said this last week and I'll keep saying it. I like that he's not a one-dimensional asshole. I like that there's like an actual, like we understand why he feels the way he feels. It reminds me on a very small scale of Thanos, where it's like we hated him, but when Thanos was speaking and Thanos was on screen, we understood him. And I feel the same way about John Walker, that like we hate him, but we get it. We get where he's coming from. And I'm really excited to see where the character goes. Like, if we talk about the cameo, I'll say more, but I'm definitely
we have a little slide about that for sure. Jacqui, what are your thoughts?
Everybody pretty much said what I was going to say. I really think he really suffers from a lot of past experiences he's had in his career. I think he probably has a lot of PTSD that messed him out. And it seems like he clings to this identity of Captain America, almost like he clings to this identity and that he needs it so much to validate him that he is willing to bet his life on it. He's willing to kill for this. He could have easily killed Sam with the way that he was raising that shield.
Yeah, he came pretty damn close.
Yeah, so you feel bad for him. How did he get to this place? It's sad.
Really such a highlight the way that this country treats veterans, if you think about it, because it's one of those things where when they're in the service, they're exalted, and then when, heaven forbid, they have PTSD or they have mental health issues post-war and they end up doing violent crimes, we don't protect them. We don't offer them what we deserve them. And I think that's, as much as I believe that this series is a really great conversation on the way Black men are treated in America, I liked this little sprinkle of kind of really the way the government treats a lot of the people that we have in this country.
Right.
So I like
this is for everybody that's listening right now that maybe sitting there being like, why are they making things political? This has always been what comic books do. They grab things that happen from real life.
The first issue of Captain America is literally Captain America punching Hitler.
There you go. Beginning, middle, and end of it, right there.
Exactly.
How much
Exactly.
more political we could get.
Yeah.
So
Madam Hydra. Madam Hydra.
And the award for most random actress cameo that I never would have expected in my life goes to Julia Louis-Dreyfus joining the MCU. Oh man,
Val.
I had
don't fucking call her Val.
I had no idea. Like she was like honestly probably one of the last people. Well, once they kind of panned up, I'm like, okay, who is it? Who is this? Who is this? And I was like going through all of the people it could possibly be that we may have met before. It's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I was like, oh shit.
So I just think it's number one, like my parents were massive Seinfeld fans. They loved that show. So like, especially with me trying to get my mother into the MCU, to know that like at some point Julia Louis will show up, I think is amazing. But I think what's also interesting is, I don't know if you guys heard this, but this was supposed to be her second appearance because she was supposed to be in Black Widow. She was supposed to be in Black Widow. So we'll see this character again in Black Widow. And they said, if you think about the way they show her from like the shoes up, it was supposed to be a bigger deal because we would have already known the character.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see just the way that she carries herself, because she's Madam Hydra. Like she's a big deal. So like she already carries herself. She walks in, she owns the room, and she's just like, I can help you, my friend, type of deal. Like it's almost like you're doing a deal with the devil. Like she has that spice to her.
Yeah, I think we're definitely getting Dark Avengers. I definitely think we're getting Dark Avengers.
Good for Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
She also is the power broker.
You think
so?
That
would be interesting.
Well, okay, so we'll get
I
into
think
that,
it's Sharon.
I do too. Jared, we actually agree on this.
Yeah, I think
we'll talk about this. I actually agree on this because Sharon did some shady shit in this episode.
And there's too much sass. There's too much sass in Sharon.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I love you so much. I hope you're watching. If you're watching, I watch Veep religiously. It's the most amazing thing. It's literally who I would be as the vice president, just like cursing people out, blackmailing people, like here for it, so good. But I'm excited to see her further through the MCU because again, since she's going to be a Black Widow, I do believe that she's going to be a big foil coming forward. Like she's going to be the new kind of like human enemy, like the human big bad. She's going to like we're going to find out that she's pulling so many more strings than we really know.
Right. You know what? I had this random theory last night, and I don't think there's anything comic book related that gives this precedence, but I was just thinking how neat this would be if they took the main villains of the Disney Plus series and just made them some of the foils for like to bring them in, like they just kind of group them all up. Like we get, faux Captain America / US agent, and we get what's her face from WandaVision. We get Agatha Harkness. Like we kind of see like this weird amalgamation of these characters like kind of like team up somehow, some way. I just think it would be really neat if that's what this leads to.
So John Walker is in the Dark Avengers.
Mhm.
So it would make sense. I think also, like I said this about Catherine Hahn, I will never get over saying how impressive I think it was that they put Catherine Hahn in WandaVision. And I think that like when I saw Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I was like immediately like, they're doing it again. They're taking someone who is so well known for their comedic acting. And although this was funny, they're putting them in a movie that's not really a comedy. So
Right.
I can't imagine that it wouldn't happen. Also, like, comic book wise, like Agatha has huge arcs in Fantastic Four, so I would not be surprised if that ties in. I think it all will eventually lead to whoever the big bad is, but this is a proclamation. You can write it down. I am going to model my theories more so around Kyrus, so I'm not disappointed moving forward, because I just, besides the Rogue one that I'm hanging on to for Captain Marvel, I do believe that like it could be amount to something, or these could amount to nothing. We never know.
Right. We have the Dora Milaje coming to collect their
so good.
I'm glad that he didn't try to escape, because they would not allow
It would be merciless. Yeah.
They didn't even have to say a word. They were just like, okay, it's time to go. Let's go. And I like this scene. I would imagine this is the last time that we see Zemo in this series. No idea when he would pop up again, but I think given that we only have one episode left, and it would be kind of weird for him to pop up again somehow. I think that this was the last that we saw of Zemo for a little bit.
I think it might also be the last that we see of the Dora Milaje for not like a long time, but at least in this series. I think that this was the way that this was shot, the way that it all went. It seemed like, all right, we're turning the page. It's a new chapter. We'll see these characters again, but it's not like next week we're focusing on the showdown of showdowns.
Like everything that this series has been built up to. There's a lot that still needs to be resolved, and I think
this feels the most resolved.
I think this was definitely a resolution for the Dora Milaje in this series and Zemo in this series. I don't know when or how Zemo could pop up again, like anytime soon. That would make sense.
So, I think that Zemo will come back with, there's like this other group, and I forget their name. Maybe, is it the Thunderbolts? Does Zemo leave
the one that General Ross? Do you think we'll get a General Ross cameo in this?
Maybe not this, but I do think,
because he's in Black Widow.
I think we're gonna get I think Zemo's gonna get like kind of I think John Walker will end up being a villain, and I think Zemo is going to end up being kind of like a anti-villain in a way.
Okay.
So I think Zemo will be big later on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He is involved in the Thunderbolts.
Doesn't he lead them?
I believe so. I will admit I'm not super well versed in the Thunderbolts, but I recall hearing about them, and I know he's involved.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just think it's cool because like we were talking about it earlier about like how this is kind of like a conglomeration and maybe will lead to the films. And what these series kind of do is they give us these backstories. So if Zemo's in a movie for 10 minutes, it holds so much more weight because we now have these backstories attached to them. So we're definitely not done with Zemo, and we know for a fact we're not done with the Milaje.
Right. Zemo will be back. I just don't see it happening anytime soon-ish. I'm glad we got to see him again. And I'm glad that we got to see him again. I'm glad we got to see him dancing. Oh, boy.
Jesus.
First and foremost, this was probably one of my favorite MCU scenes ever. In movies, TV shows, there was so much raw, genuine reactions that was happening in the scene between Isaiah Bradley and Falcon. What a scene between these two. By the way, and also shout out to, his name is Carl Lumbly. That is the actor that plays Isaiah Bradley. His performance in this was fantastic, and hearing how he did everything that Steve Rogers did.
Yeah.
But got
Exact
jailed
same
for
things.
it. Like breaking people out of prison, breaking his teammates out of prison, but getting jailed for it after being tested on, which by the way, people, this is stuff that really happened. It may not have been with super soldier serum,
Tuskegee Airmen.
but we have the tetanus experiments that were happening on African American men, where they would tell, once again, I'm not making this shit up. They would tell African American men that they're testing, for bad blood, right? Like, it's no big deal. We're just testing them. But they were giving them tetanus purposefully. This is the government, by the way, giving black men tetanus to see what happens and to try out things and testing on black men. And in this scene, Isaiah Bradley walks us through everything pretty much that happened. And I had to hit pause.
It's so upsetting
at the end of it. And even then, the conflict on Falcon's face when Isaiah Bradley says that that white man's shield, like all that stuff, like
self-respecting black man
would ever take the mantle up.
Captain America.
Right. And so man, I love this scene. Jacqui, what did you think?
It was really upsetting, but it's also just hearing both of them just discuss. He can't get past this trauma, and he shouldn't. It's been his entire life.
Right.
And then Sam being this, what's the word I'm thinking for? Unfaltering optimist, I feel like. Because he's like that in the comics too, where he's just such a sweetheart and he really wants to help everyone, even if they, you made a mistake to John Walker. And he's just telling Isaiah Bradley, but we can help you, we can put your name out there, we can make this right. It's nice to see this person who's just no, this is the world.
Yep.
We can't change it, and him be this optimist saying just no, we can change this type of thing. It was so emotional.
I think what's cool about it is it's obvious that we're pretty sure Sam's going to take up the mantle. I think it's Sam who deserves to take it up. And I think what's interesting is even just from a outside a viewer point, a black man is going to be Captain America. So I think without having the audience understand what that truly means, both in the universe and outside of the universe, I think that whether this scene was uncomfortable or not, I don't think that we would have been able to fully appreciate a black man as Captain America without it.
I agree. John, what did you think?
There was something that Sam said to Isaiah, I think either the beginning of their conversation or when they were in the backyard. And it was saying something about him being a bitter old black man, something like that. And when he started speaking, I felt like it put a beautiful light onto why that trope is so familiar and why there's a lot of black men in our society that are afraid to show emotion or afraid to be vulnerable or have to always be in fight mode or always are angry or hard or whatever. It's the idea that it's I would love to be the beautiful, optimist that sees sunshine and rainbows, but I genuinely can't because I've seen who they really are.
Right.
Because that's the thing. Once someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And he's seen who they really are. So he's
exactly.
Sorry, all of this beautiful flag waving nonsense and the parades and putting everybody up on a pedestal, it's a lie. It's not real.
Or it's just not genuine.
If it is real, it's not real for you, son.
Yeah, he's
your skin is too dark for that.
Agree. I think Isaiah is very much do what you need to do, but it's not for me. And I thought that was important when they called it out later on when Sam was I would feel the same way if I was in his position. But I think it's important for him to say, I'm not. You know what I mean? He's not in Isaiah's position. So I think he's we can do this a different way.
Right. Mm-hmm. I dare them, honestly, to put this stuff in a movie. I think I think this is a good step, but now that they open this door, if they're I think they have to continue. I will be disappointed. I understand when it comes to superhero movies, people are going to be just give me action and flying and CGI, but I think that they need to continue to touch upon because obviously Sam Wilson will take up the mantle. Like, we all know this is going to happen.
Mhm.
But I think that we will still need to see his struggle. And I don't see why they couldn't, because we, even in the Captain America movies, we see Steve struggle with, trying to become acclimated with the new modern world, or, like all this kind of stuff. I think it's the same type of thing. I think that we should get a Falcon Captain America movie. I think somebody said that on a podcast last week as well. I think that we should 100% get one, eventually. I love this scene.
Well, they said that they're going to make a Captain America 4. It's already kind of like being like put out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Feige would do it, because honestly, with the popularity of this show, and I would be very surprised if they didn't just kind of take the story forward, and maybe we would see Zemo in the 4th Captain America.
Yeah, perhaps. Shout out to I love this. I'm not going to show obviously this entire sequence, but everything, like when we get to see Sam just back home in New Orleans or in Louisiana, which is where Anthony Mackie's really from, by the way, and so to see him and just that whole vibe, I actually really like this sequence. I know I read some people online, they're like, why did they have to put this in here? Blah blah blah. This is like, get to the action, blah blah. But I think this is important for establishing characters.
Mhm.
Right?
I agree.
And motivations.
I 100% agree.
People are so impatient.
Yes.
And that's the
I know,
thing,
God
is like,
forbid.
even myself, like, I love a theory, I love an idea, but it's one of those things where, like, I've said this and I'll keep saying it, that Iron Man came out in 2008 and Endgame did not come out until 2019 or 2018.
Yeah.
So it's like, to think that we're going to get everything we want in just the second property of this next phase is selfish and just not realistic.
Right.
Like, it's like, so we have to just play the long game. And it's like,
Right.
I want to know about Sam's history. I want to know about Sam's life. How much more will I love a 10-second cameo of Sam in another movie now that I know who he really is,
Right.
Every time I watch that scene in Endgame now with like the Cap, I'm on your left, it means even more, because it's like, now I really know who Sam is. He's not just like, for lack of a better term, Captain America's black sidekick. You know what I mean? Now he has like a real, not that, and now he's a real story. And it's like, I'm tired of kind of being like, but in the comics, at least now we don't have to say in the comics. It's like, now you know who he is. It's right on screen.
No follow-ups? Well, that was a first. Oh my gosh. That called me. Keep
it short.
I know, Jared, you rendered everybody speechless.
Hey, girl, I was gonna say, it gave me exactly what I wanted.
Yay, my montage.
He could use that. He could use
90s
that
montage
on me. I'll tell you that much.
We got a couple. We got a couple montages in this episode. One of which we got to see Bucky and Sam's friendship as they help repair the boats. What a friendship. That's goals. This is goals right here. This is pure goals.
It just reminded me of those old school 90s movies where they're just like all making pancakes in the kitchen. They're just like, we're building our friendship. We're making pancakes, except they're fixing a boat.
Right. By the way, though, I do find it funny though that, like, I don't know if y'all have ever been down to Louisiana, but it's hot. And like, they're sitting there working with like,
especially by the water.
Right.
I'm like, it's muggy as hell out there. And they're by the water in leather coats. I'm like, y'all, that's California. Come on now.
That's New Jersey on a Tuesday morning.
Exactly, right.
Like this is Louisiana.
They're working and they're friggin' wearing jackets. No, thank you.
So,
oh my God.
So we get this scene. By the way, shout out to just the blackness in this episode, by the way. Yeah. Which I'm a fan of.
Can we have a minute though, like, just for his sister, for Lamar's sister?
Yes.
They can't, I'm frustrated with the hair. I gotta be honest. Like, I want all my black women to have whatever hair they want in films, but that hair was so close to Monica Rambeau that it frustrated me.
Girl, I was like, why? I was like,
it was so cool. I thought it was so cool because that's Tiana Paris's hair in WandaVision. I believe that's her hair. And I'm not trying to be a white man that speaks on black women's hair, but I was just like, it felt very to me like, oh, wait, is that what we're doing? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, is that
if we get a third black woman that has the same hair, I'm gonna
be real mad.
I'm be like Kevin Feige. Like, if Storm shows up with Monica Rambeau hair.
So you admit she's gonna show up? That's what you mean.
I do think she's gonna show up.
It's on the recording.
She is gonna show up in Phase 7. It's gonna happen. We're all gonna be 55 years old. But in this scene, by the way, he also in this scene, Faux America over here on the left.
Counterfeit cap.
He also lied by saying that the
Big
band that
time.
he killed was the one that killed what's called Stardust, Battlestar.
Stardust.
Stardust. Oh my gosh.
But the guy that he killed did not kill Stardust. Battlestar.
Battlestar.
It's
He did not
also
kill him.
like the bloodlust. I like it in
Yeah.
the story. I think it's great in the story. I think it fits. But like on a personal level, I'm like, bro, go to a therapist. Like,
Yeah.
figure it out. Like, why would
Mhm.
you? And it's so clear that what they're trying to do is for him to go to Lamar's family, essentially, so Lamar's family can be the defenders of him to the government and be like,
Yes.
but he avenged our son. He avenged our son. It's like it's all opportunistic. Even his wife said it. The first thing you have to do is go to Lamar's family.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, stop it with this shit. You didn't even
Right.
get the right guy. You're just like a
Right.
police officer. You kill whoever you want. You don't
And he
like,
he has an incessant need to validate
Agreed.
himself. He needs to be right. Like it's really sad to see. And when
But
I
at
saw
the same
this,
time,
Can I ask a question? Did he take the serum or no? I know
Yes,
he
he did.
stole
yeah,
it.
he did.
He
Oh
ingest
yeah.
it?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he took
Yeah.
it.
Did
That's
we
why
see
he's
that
able to,
happen?
like-
No, we didn't see
Yeah.
it, but
But-
I mean, we didn't see him take it, but we knew that he took it. Like, remember when he bent that
last
like
week.
crowbar?
Yeah, he bent
Yeah,
that
I just
crowbar.
for
Yeah.
me like because for me I knew he took it, but I guess like I was like, wait, is he?
Yeah, they
is he
didn't
not?
show it. They didn't show
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Jacqui, what were you saying?
No, I was just once I saw this, I was just like, oh, okay, we really are killing Battlestar. Because at some point in the
Right.
comics, Battlestar suffers a really bad back injury,
Mm.
and then he decides to do what's right, even despite his back injury. Like he even goes against. He was with John Walker, and he was supportive with him, and then there was a twist where he's just like, "Bro, you've gone too
Right.
far," type of thing. So once
Right,
I saw
right.
this, I was like, "Oh, this is where we're going," type of
Right.
thing.
Right. I liked it. Let's talk about Shady McGee over here.
Right? I was actually
Shady
gonna
McGee over
The
here.
power broker.
I think she is the power
Power
broker.
So do
friends.
I.
She pulled some, but we all know that Marvel is known for giving us crumbs that
Fake
lead to
out.
nowhere purposefully. But she did some shady shit here. She called Pierre Escargot to make that thing that we'll talk about in a second to go meet up with Carly. So she's the one that made the call. I don't know if this is part of an ultimate plan for her.
I just don't think so. Listen, for me, we got to always follow the money. So
Yeah.
like when we have big stars in things for just a few moments of something, we have to think like it was my same feeling with Catherine Hahn again, but I was like, Catherine Hahn's famous. She's not like Beyonce famous, but she's very famous. So it's one of those things where it's like, why would they bring her in if there wasn't a big plan? I don't think they would waste this scene with Sharon if there wasn't something coming. And
They would if it's DC.
is it
Wow.
is her name Emily? What's her
Emily
name?
Van Camp.
So Emily Van Camp did an interview where, and obviously they're all sworn to secrecy, but what she said was that like she believes that it's almost like a reboot of the character. And what she had said was that
100%.
she says that like anything that people expect that Sharon would do is kind of not what she's going to do. So I would not be surprised, and just the way these fuckers are, is I would not be surprised if we find out she's a power broker in like the last 3 minutes of the series. And then that's it.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, I agree. Like again, just looking at all the breadcrumb pieces that we got about her character, like the fact that she just did, like, I'm sorry, I'm still not over the fact that she held down that whole like
By herself.
scene by herself, and
Yeah.
not only by herself, like shooting people in the head, stabbing them, like
on the phone,
like
while having a
yeah.
conversation.
Right? I was like, you used to be like this U.S. agent. Like, yes, I'm sure they all have license to kill. It's the first time we've seen kills in the MCU. But I was like, God, like that was like the first moment since I honestly don't even remember when, where I was like, wow, this is brutal. This is intense. This is
I think
really,
it's also like
really
interesting.
a lot, so.
I think it's interesting that she wouldn't. It's like they would pardon Bucky, but you're worried about not getting a pardon when you like. For me, that's like I'm like, there's a reason she's not leaving Madripoor. There's a reason.
Yeah, what did you do? What did you do, girl?
Jacqui, what do you think of our good friend Sharon Carter?
I think she is the power broker at this point, but like, I mean,
anything
could happen.
She has connections,
But I also like, I really like Sharon though. So like, despite how shady she is, I'm at like my stance right now. It's just like, I'm sure she has a reason. Like,
right, go ahead, girl. Live your truth, girl.
We're opening up a new kind of Marvel genre of these, like I always say, Catwoman-esque anti-heroes.
Yes.
Where I think that we have Zemo. I think we could have Sharon, who might be the power broker, but she's not completely a villain. These people that maybe their personal ideas are leading them to like more villainy things, but their personal relationships keep them in a normal place. So I think we're getting a few of those, because honestly, I feel that way about Wanda. You know what I mean? If you look at Wanda's kind of like a villain and a hero at the same time. So I think this new MCU is opening up like what the definition of hero really is.
We had another montage sequence here.
I need a montage.
This is the only thing we got. This is the only thing missing from the original trailer that we hadn't seen yet. Was this?
I like that
next week is most likely going to be brand new that we've never
seen. And so we got an Anthony Mackie workout sequence, which was fun. We had Pierre Escargot meeting up with Carly, and he's there because of who we were just talking about. This potential. I don't know. I keep calling him Pierre Escargot. I can't remember his actual name.
I was like, just gonna say,
George.
I don't know if that's
it's like Georges or something. Georges.
Well, that's his real name, right?
He's
but
so
what's his character name?
I don't know. I was like annoyed that he showed up. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, this guy just won't quit. But isn't Pierre Escargot? Isn't that like in all that the guy who's chill in the bathtub?
Kenan Thompson, yeah, with Pierre Escargot.
Oh my god!
Wow. For those of you who were not born in the 90s.
I know.
You had to be there.
So we get Anthony Mackie. So it looks like the Wakandans, aka most likely Shuri, gave him a suitcase with something. What could it possibly be?
My favorite meme was the one where my favorite meme that I saw was the one where it opens up to be the Spider-Man suit. I was dying.
Which I'm excited because this means that his Falcon gear, his red, white, and blue Falcon gear, is made of vibranium. How amazing is that going to be?
And it's also super cool.
Falcon suit, or do you think it's going to be a new Captain America suit?
Well, I think it's a Captain. I think it's a Falcon version of the Captain America suit.
The Captain America suit with wings.
Yeah,
I could be here for it.
Made of vibranium.
I love a good costume shift. I enjoy a new look. I think it's exciting. I know this sounds like super, I don't know if this is going to sound the way I want it to, but I think it's really amazing that the Wakandans made it, because I think it just kind of ties in that this show is really very pro-black, and it's very real world. And I think it's cool that it's like they got rid of that old suit and now he has a suit made by black people, which to me is very cool.
Jacqui, do you think it's the suit that's in here, or is it Gwyneth Paltrow's head?
Stop.
If it's the suit,
what a reference! What a reference!
I was waiting for that one.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, no, if it's the suit, it'd be freaking amazing. I didn't make any assumptions when I saw that. I was just like, ooh, I'm excited to see what that is. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just excited to see that red, white, and blue suit. That'll be really good.
That's going to be fun. And then at the end of the episode here, looks like the Flag Smashers have taken over with apparently the most shitty security ever for a major organization.
Right? They
what is up with these like UN type of organizations with the worst security ever?
Worst lighting ever. I'd hate to work in that red lighting.
Well,
Jesus.
at this point, first and foremost, how convenient is it that this room just happened to have red lighting when the Flag Smashers took over the room? But how convenient is that? But I guess this will be what the final battle leads to. Like, here's my question: what are they looking to do?
I think they're just looking to keep the world as it is. I think this is intentional. I don't mean this. I don't like Carly as much as I did. I think that I cared more about her because I felt like she was really on the side of good. And I thought that this was really important when he said, like, so we're just teaming up with criminals. And she's like, we are criminals now. And I thought it was powerful that one dude that's with her is like, fuck that. Like, because I think it's like, it just shows how quickly this stuff gets to your head. You know what I mean? And I think it's like, sis, take all the super soldier serum you want. Like, let any of the real Avengers show up and it's going to be a wrap. Like, I'm like, if they call in Carol Danvers, if they call in like the Hulk, Thor, Wanda, like you're playing with fire, sis. You handle the humans. But like, what are you doing?
It's like when somebody decides to be a criminal in Gotham. Like,
right?
What are you expecting?
Like,
go somewhere else.
Come on, like, and so I think it's like cool, but I'm like, I know this. I'm more invested in where Sam and Bucky are going as characters than I care about what's happening with the Flag Smashers.
Oh, that's understandable. I feel
Same. Yeah, I don't like. This might sound bad, but I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's just I don't like. It's just not like the stakes aren't that big enough for this to be the final like battle. Does that make sense?
Petulant. Carly at this point seems a little petulant.
Yeah.
She's like, they want us to blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, sis, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you killed like 9 of your friends with this.
and she blew up. I don't know. I feel like there's something more that we just don't know yet, because like I just don't feel like, you know, Falcon and Bucky versus the Flag Smashers
literally sounds like a made-up cartoon. Like like Falcon and Bucky take on the Flag Smashers, and it's like I just think that I'm happy that there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I think that like if it were any longer, I'd be like, I don't care about these fuckers. Tell me more about Sam and Bucky. Sorry, Jacqui.
They feel like, no, you're fine. They feel like the henchmen, the extra henchmen that you fight in the video games, like especially the Spider-Man video games, they all come out with their leather jackets and they're like, that's what they feel.
Get them, bro.
Yeah.
I'm mad Jacqui called them side characters. They're like the villains of the entire series, and Jackie's like, these fucking teenage mutants.
But like, no, but like she's right though, because that's pretty much what I was saying. I was just like, they can't be like the final boss battle. If this is a video game, if the Flag Smashers are the final boss battle, I'm gonna be like, oh.
And it's also like bullets kill them, so it's like
we found their weakness. Their weakness is bullets.
I feel like if Torres doesn't have any superpowers or wings, I feel like if he played it right, he could like snipe a bunch of these people off and like call it a day.
I mean, it kind of seems like we only haven't killed Carly because we just haven't decided to kill Carly yet. Like
the script says no.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I told you WandaVision, I believe, was for the gays, but I agree that Flag Smashers versus the Falcon and all of them is not going to be like Wanda and Agatha flying in the sky. It's not going to be the same excitement.
But at the same time, I don't think that it's gonna just be about them. I feel like it's gonna be Sam and Carly 2.0. Like it's gonna be their conversation again. I feel like it's gonna have a lot of action.
Yeah, which is fine.
But
yeah.
I think the series is gonna end on a cliffhanger.
It's gonna be trying to kind of talk her down and be like, Carly, no, like come back, because again, she's teetering on this like precipice of just becoming full-fledged villain. Like, she's done some horrible stuff, but she in her mind, she's like, I want to be better. And even after she kills Lamar, you could see the regret on her face. You know, that's why she ran. That's why she didn't continue fighting. That's why she didn't like. She's in this like transitional moment.
Yeah, she's just not evil. She's not evil enough.
I think
exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kill her. And make her a martyr for the cause. So then that brings in whatever The big
And you know what? Here's the thing. I also think that this fight between the Flag Smashers and Bucky and Sam and all that, I think this will happen fairly early in the episode, and the actual like finale will be something with Walmart Captain America.
Yeah, Joe Walker.
Yeah,
Joe
I think
Walker,
that's what it's ultimately leading up to be honest, because I can't see. And we might as well talk about it. So during the mid-credit scene, we see you know,
he did some crafter-nooting. I was
right.
What a little baby he is. What a little bitty baby.
I know. He went to Michael's. He had a
did
coupon.
Go to Michael's. Oh, he went to Michael's.
He went to Michael's. He has a coupon, and he got some stuff to make his own ghetto ass shield, which is not vibranium. So like, I don't know how. Like, I don't know.
I know it's like, sis, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Right, I was like, you're about to make an aluminum shield, and they're about to just be like, ding.
Yeah, I was
It's
just
like,
like,
girl, you have the super soldier serum. Just go with somebody evil and figure out a new identity. You are not Captain America. This is weird.
Yeah.
Get a sword or a gun or something fun like that.
It's
Who
just
knows?
weird. He's so attached to it. It's so
yeah.
weird.
I told Chris, I was like, he ain't got no Dargonite in his garage.
No.
Like, he ain't got none of that.
But also, girl, can I tell you again the real world implications? Girl, he is doing what all these motherfucking crazy ass gun wielding people do all the time. Taking their guns to the street. If I can't be an authority figure, if I can't do it, I'm gonna do it anyway. Why? Because I'm white, and who's gonna stand in my way if I walk down the street in the middle of the friggin' most well-lit city in the world, carrying the Captain America's shield? I'm gonna walk by everybody, and ain't nobody gonna say a goddamn thing.
Right.
So I gotta cover Cap's eyes for this travesty.
I know, my baby.
So overall, what would you rate this episode? I originally gave it as a 7, but the more I think about it, I'm gonna have to raise it to an 8. So it's an 8 for me. Jared, what score would you give it?
So we didn't score last week. So last week was a 10 out of 10. I would give this one an 8 out of 10 as well.
Got it. Jacqui?
Yeah, a lot of action in this. A lot of this is coming to a head. I really like the conversation. I'm a little bit biased. I would probably put it a little bit higher on a 9, just because of all the conversation and emotional turmoil.
I agree.
Jacqui, I'm right with you. I feel like there was so much more symbolism in this episode than there was in the last episode. And again, everything is building up to something, so it's not gonna be a perfect 10 because they're setting the pieces for next week's perfect 10.
Right. I think it's very possible that my appreciation for this episode will increase after I see how it all ends.
100%.
There's a very good chance that'll happen. Friends, that was fun.
That was
fun. I like it this fast. I like it this fast.
Fast. This might be our longest one.
Well, we tried. We always go in trying.
But it won't be the highest rated because I'm here and I have haters. So.
And we had Kai and the 3 J's, so like we can't go wrong. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed what you were watching here today, be sure to hit that subscribe button. What am I up to? Let's see. I'm curious. How many subscribers do I have now?
Drop us a number, Daddy.
We're about to drop a number. That number is, where are you? Oh, there we go. Your channel. We're about to cross 500, friends. 500 subscribers. We are 12 away.
Yeah.
12 away from that. So subscribe, my friends, and also if you're listening on the podcasts, make sure that you go listen there as well. And friends, thank you for hanging out, Jared, John, Jacqui, 3 J's. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday today.
You too. Don't forget the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be.
Period.
Keep that in mind.
That's right. They're always watching.
Aww.
They're always. I know. I always have these close by. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me as always, friends. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and God bless and good vibes. Bye.
Bye. Good vibes.